Well, first of all, let me say that departure from the European Union is certainly what will dominate the political agenda in 2020, and that would be a very logical assumption to make, because it has dominated it over the last few years as well. And something the Chief Minister has already made very clear is that what the UK and the EU are going to negotiate now is a future relationship. So that means everything will stay the same until the end of 2020. There will be some changes. For example, the UK will lose its MEPs. We will lose our 6 MEPs. We elected them in May of last year. Now we'll lose them completely. The UK will lose a British judge in the Court of Justice. There will be no British commissioner and no vote in the Council either. And that EU, without UK influence, will negotiate a future relationship with the United Kingdom itself. And Gibraltar, as you know, has always argued that we want to be part of that relationship. But I do think that we need to see very clearly and very carefully, understand very carefully, what that relationship is. I mean, Gibraltar, as you know, has no manufacturing industry. We have no agriculture. We have no fishing industry. So clearly, it depends what kind of trade deal the UK and the EU agree on, and indeed whether they manage to agree one at all before the end of 2020. Now, what the Chief Minister has said is that if we are asked to pay a political price for such a deal, then Gibraltar is certainly not going to pay it, and we have to be prepared to walk away from those negotiations, and we are prepared to walk away.
We tend to think that what Spain will ask for is sovereignty, but you're also speaking of an unfavourable economic arrangement for Gibraltar.
That's right. We would have to look at everything. As we are not in the customs union, for example. Gibraltar has never been in it. Is there any merit in having a discussion as to whether we have to have some kind of arrangement in the future? I don't know, but these are the areas that we need to consider and we need to look at. It could be economic, but it could be, I think when we talk about Spain, everybody immediately thinks about a sovereignty price. We are certainly not going to pay a sovereignty price.
You talk about walking away. What would we be walking into? Would it be a no-deal scenario just for Gibraltar?
Well, you see, if first of all, we need to understand that the first thing is that there has to be, or there should be, a UK-EU agreement. And that it's possible that there isn't one, that between now and the end of 2020, the UK and the European Union do not agree anything, in which case there is no future relationship. The UK will trade on WTO terms. We are not in the customs union. We carry on trading and importing in the way in which we have always done. Now, we identified some issues as part of our no-deal planning, and that was, for example, importing perishable goods from the United Kingdom across the European Union into Gibraltar. So that there would be some changes going forward. There would be some changes if we leave without a deal or if we leave without an agreement. But what we do mainly, you see, is services. And our main market for services is clearly the United Kingdom. And the first step that we took when we started the Brexit discussions bilaterally with the UK itself was for the UK to guarantee access to Gibraltar companies into the United Kingdom as they do today, whatever happens. So whether there is a deal at the end of the year or there isn't a deal at the end of the year, 90% of our business in financial services, for example, is with the UK, and that would be able to continue.